Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. This is another fresh episode of Kingdom Wisdom Channel. So today we have a guest in our midst, as you can see. So I will let him to introduce himself. Then we continue with the topic that we have in hand today. So, sir, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
So please, sir, help us to introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Wolaje Emmanuel Enenoche.
Okay,
An undergraduate, the president of Spirit and Life Global Fellowship.
you're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Emmanuel, sir, you're highly welcome. So,
Thank you,
Emmanuel,
sir.
you're highly welcome. This is a very great time that we're going to be having. But before we proceed into our topic, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, this is the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and press the notification button so that anytime we post any of our update of our new video, just like this one today, you'll be the first to receive the notification and you'll be a part of this kingdom wisdom growth, this educative and impactful series that we are going to be treating today. So today, let's dive into our topic for today, and it is a very exciting one. You're going to love it. It is called addiction. Yeah, addiction of pornography. So we have so many people having these
Yes,
challenges of
of course,
addiction.
of course,
Yes, and we have addiction of pornography. People that are addicted of pornography, addicted of masturbation,
of course.
addicted of smoking. Some even have addiction in anger. They
Yeah,
don't know how to they are just addicted to such a life.
yeah.
But today, presently, we'll be looking at addiction generally, but the one we want to tackle today is addiction in masturbation.
Okay.
Yes, addiction in masturbation, because I think that is one of the things that is killing our youth and our generation at this time in our life. So, sir, what do you have to say concerning?
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for
You're
this
welcome, sir.
privilege. I'm happy to be here. I've been so blessed by all your videos on YouTube, and I want to encourage everyone to really go and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet.
Subscribe.
Thank you so much, sir. So we just like you asked about the topic addiction. I believe this is a very heart-touching topic because everyone in our generation needs to hear and know about this because addiction, when you talk about addiction, many persons boil addiction down to just a particular thing. And maybe when we talk about pornographic addiction, we see that as only an addiction. We
Yeah.
see masturbation as only an addiction. But addiction is a compound word.
Yes.
It comprises of different types of activities. Now, if you look at the dictionary definition of addiction, it's a habit or a practice that damages or jeopardizes or shortens one's life.
Yeah.
So, um, every habit or practice that can over time affect the life of a person, it's an addiction. So, we see many persons that smoke, and over time, that act of smoking, having to smoke every time,
Yeah.
now brings certain kind of sickness on them and have a lung disease and so on. So addiction is not just boiled to a particular thing; it's a general concept because it's something you practice habitually.
Yes.
So we can have that. So you talked about masturbation,
Yeah.
which is one that affects many young people today. So I believe addiction can be handled. You can be helped if you are having this. And let me point out to one again, sir. I want to point out to social media addiction because in our generation we have so many people that can't do without their
Yeah,
phone.
that's also an addiction.
Yes, sir. So addiction boils down to a lot of things. Some persons are addicted to food. Some
Yeah.
persons are addicted to drinks, and
Yes.
so as long as we are on this earth, there are many things that men can be addicted to.
Okay, now I just discovered that even drinking and eating too much is kind of
It's an
addiction.
addiction.
And over operating your phone that you can't do without it for just a day is also an addiction. Okay, but sir, how can we come out or how can we break free from addiction? Because addiction is not good. Addiction has been affecting the life of men. Yes. So how can we break out of it?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So for this now, I will bring a bias to the to answering this question. When you go to the contemporary world, what we have in the world today, uh, you discover that most people tell you how to go out of addiction by the certain practice. So they
Yes.
give you things to do. For instance, when you have an addiction of pornography, for instance, they ask you not to be secluded. Don't stay in a place alone
Mm.
because the urges might come and you have to. You can watch it, but when
Yes.
somebody is there with you, the embarrassment, the shame won't allow you do that. So
Yes.
there are certain structures you can put in place which the even the people in the world they advise people to do. But I want to also add into to this that there are sometimes people with addiction uh, when they do this practice over time they can't really control it.
Mm.
It is now beyond one's control, and when that has happened, we can say this is now a spiritual problem. Exactly, because over time, the habits we do, the practice, things we practice attracts spirits to us.
Mm.
Now, I'm not trying to be a spiritist here.
Mm.
I'm just trying to show you the reality of this. That's why you have many persons that come to you and say, they told me to practice this, they told me to do this every
Mm.
time, and I kept doing it. But after 1 month, it came back and it was even stronger. I couldn't control it again. And we see many persons that have given up on changing.
Yeah.
Some persons have made it now seeing what they are addicted to as part of their lives.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
persons are now saying they can't do without smoking.
Without.
That's why you see some persons say they can't do without smoking, they can't do without drinking, they can't do without watching pornography, they can't do without having sex. It is because it's now an addiction and it's now beyond the control of these persons.
Mm.
So, sir, you asked a question. I'm sorry I had to go through that route
No,
before I
it's
came
fine.
to
Yes.
answer your question.
Yes.
You asked a question, how can we come out of this addiction?
Yes.
Coming out is very possible. This is the first thing I want to let each and every one of you know, that coming out of an addiction is very, very possible. We have many persons that have shared wonderful testimonies of how many years that they have been addicted for several years,
Mm.
30 years, 20 years. They were addicted to pornography, addicted to masturbation, addicted to a lot of things, and they came out.
Mm.
So,
Yes.
first of all, you have to have settled this in your mind that it is possible for you to come out,
Yes.
and then you must be ready to um, you must be ready to wait until you to give the patience it takes for you
Mm.
to come out,
Yeah.
because it won't happen just in a day, right? It won't happen just in a month. Sometimes it will take time for certain things to happen. Why? It's because, let's take for instance a woman that before a woman gives birth, it takes process,
Yes.
it takes time. For instance, the process that it takes for a woman to take in,
Mm.
it's a process, right?
Yeah.
So even for that child to come out, it's going to be a process. So, but many persons feel this should just happen in a day.
Mm.
And sometimes even when you pray for them, you use the anointing and you cast out the devils, the demons that are responsible in making it impossible for them to leave that addiction. Many persons think it will just happen in a moment.
Yeah.
We are not limiting the power of God here, but we are just trying to be very practical with
Yeah,
our
sure.
approach. The truth is, once you are prayed for about a certain kind of addiction, then there are certain things you must do and there are certain practices you must abide to, so that over time your soul can be restored. The
Yeah.
book of Psalms, he said, he restored my soul. So there's a place for the soul to be restored.
Be
The
restored.
spirit can be handled and it's fine, but the soul needs to be restored, because over time that person have had an experience of sin, of that sin. You have had an experience of sex, you have had experience of that masturbation, and it was in your body. So, and your body would want to feel in a certain, you want to feel somehow in certain conditions if you expose yourself to certain environment. So it will take time for that your soul to be restored. But first of all, coming out of this, you need to be prayed for. First of all, um, counseling need to be sought after. You need to seek after
Counseling.
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 You need to be
Very
prayed for,
important.
and then you must impose self-discipline.
Mm.
Self-discipline. So you don't need to be careless. For instance, I know that I've had this addiction of smoking. I don't need to hang around friends that smoke.
That smokes.
I need to be very selective about my friends. I need to be very selective about the environment I find myself. I need to be selective about the kind of books I read. So you need to look out for the triggers, the things that has triggered those appetites, things that have triggered you to go in that direction. You need to look out for them, and you need to pray so that those things can be handled. You need to come out of them deliberately.
Yeah.
You need to be disciplined in those areas also.
Okay, I picked three things from here. If you are going to work with these things, it's going to work. Number one, you say the person needs to be prayed for,
Yes.
because there are some addictions that have gone way beyond natural stuff, and it's now a spirit. It's now a
Yes.
spiritual battle. So you need to be prayed for. And number two, you say counseling. That means that person needs to work with his counselor or with his coach closely to see to it that he breaks out from that addiction. And the last one, you say the person needs to
So the last one, I say the person needs to be disciplined.
the person needs to be disciplined. Very important to be disciplined. Having a coach, I just discovered that having a counselor will not help one to actually scale through life and all those
Of
things,
course,
or
of
except the
course.
person implement his own discipline before the person can come out from addiction.
Of
I think
course.
I went for a youth camp. That was 2019. I went for a youth camp, and we actually dealt on this topic. And I think most of the things you just said today was exactly what we treated in that camp. Most especially the praying for and hanging around people that are not smoking, or hanging around people that are not masturbating. If you know you are masturbating, you don't need to stay alone. You made mention of that thing. You don't need to stay indoor all by yourself all day, because as you're staying indoor all by yourself, you are thinking about it, and before you know, you will get back to it. So you need to hang around people, have a counselor or a coach that will help you. This is a very great one. Okay, so what will be your counsel for those people out there that are viewing this channel or viewing this video, and they are battling with any form of addiction? What will be your straight counsel to them?
Okay. My words wouldn't change much. I will still say that you shouldn't give up on yourself.
Mm.
That's the first counsel I have for you. You shouldn't give up on yourself. It might be right from when you're a child, or maybe when in the time of ignorance.
Yeah.
That's when the devil actually brings some of these weights on us of addiction and the rest. When we don't have knowledge,
Yeah.
when we are moved by peer pressure
Mm.
and a lot of things like that, then we see that we begin to become addicted. So I want to first of all tell you that you shouldn't give up on yourself.
That's true.
Many persons have passed through this road.
Mm.
Um, uh, Many persons have passed through this road, and you shouldn't see yourself as the only person in this.
Mm.
But you should also know the dangers of being in this,
Yeah.
because many persons are now comfortable with it, which is very bad.
That's true.
So despite the fact that you this thing is what is wrong with you, you should see this as a problem, and you should run out to meet a man of God, meet a genuine man of God, ask for prayers, tell him what you're going through,
Mm.
and ask for prayers, and make him a counselor until he sees you pass through this road.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's a road. You either remain there or you come out of it.
Mm.
And remaining there is not an option for
It's
you.
not an
You
option.
shouldn't stay
Not
there at
an
all.
option, not
You
an
should come
option.
out of it, because I discovered over time that addictions reduce productivity.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
Even masturbation, for instance, there is a level of it affects your brain,
Mm.
how you think,
Yeah.
how you reason. It affects a lot of it has an implication in every area of your life, your
That's true.
finance, your health, your marriage, and a lot of things. So it's destructive. Like I said from the dictionary meaning, it's very destructive, but it is over time. It gradually destroys you. So you should ensure that you develop hatred for this
Mm.
and seek counsel, come out of it. You need to be deliberate about it.
You need to be deliberate about it. addiction reduced productivity. Wow, I love that one, sir. Thank you so much for being our guest
Thank
today.
you so much.
Thank
I'm
you. I'm
so
so honored. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm very excited seeing him in our show. I think this is the first time we are doing this kind of video. And drop a comment. Tell me what you think about this and what you think can actually help people from addiction outside the points you have mentioned. In case you have any, just drop it. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us,
thank you, sir.
Emmanuel. The Lord, thank you so much. The Lord bless you, sir.
Thank you. God bless
Thank you, sir. So we're going off right now, but please, I will say it again. Don't forget to subscribe, press the notification button, and like this video, share it to your loved ones. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this thing called addiction. And together we will grow together as the Lord help us. So see you guys and bye for now.